We need a thumbnail, so let's catch the thumbnail while we're here now, innit?
Alright.
What's the thumbnail gonna be?
You can pause that now.
Yes, guys, back again with another video. Free at the back.
Back again.
Back again. Listen, controversial topic today, bro.
Very controversial, but very close to home as well.
Very close to home.
very close
We've got
to home.
Arsenal on one hand. Not saying anything. We've got Arsenal on one hand and we've got United on the other hand. The rise, the fall, where they were before, where they are now. How it's all happening, and our opinion on it. Let's get right into it, man.
Straight into it. So, for me, I think the first time, obviously talking about the two managers, two of the greatest managers the world's ever seen, the Prem's ever seen.
Definitely.
100%.
Sir Alex and Arsene Wenger. So that I mean, both of them changed football.
100%.
Arsene Wenger coming in and changing diets, the way people eat in and around.
I think what is with Wenger,
ground.
he didn't just change Arsenal, he changed football.
Yeah, he did.
Like you say, it was
100%.
the
He changed
training,
England,
it
man.
was the dieting, the champagne football that got brought in, all of that stuff, everything that he implemented. But then again, on the other hand, you've got Ferguson, serial winner. I don't think there's ever been a manager in the Premier League who's as a serial of a winner
Who's
as
built
Ferguson
that.
has.
I don't think there'll be,
That
bro.
was
Listen,
immense.
Ferguson and Wenger, there'll be no one like them.
Yeah, of
No
course,
one
never.
ever, bro. The
And
fact
it's the time as well. That's something that we're not going to see today.
26
the time
years.
that they had that reign for.
Yeah.
26, 20
Very
years.
long period of time.
Okay.
But obviously, I just want you guys' opinion on this. Touch upon United when they're at their best. Just how good were they? What made them good?
I think it was the fact that everyone was singing off of the same hymn book, because if you look at, let's go through
The 92.
Yes, that would have
Let's start
the
from
92.
92.
So obviously you had, it's just a bunch of hardworking kids, because at the time it took a long time before they reached that world class stage. Do you know what I mean? Gary Neville, you'd never have said was world class. Let's be real.
Yeah.
You'd never have said, no, I'm not.
That is true.
He's admitted himself. Gary
It's
Neville,
true.
Nicky Butt, Phil Neville. You would have never said any of those three world class players. They were all good hard work. Because on the other hand, you could say Scholes, Giggs and Beckham, they were world class once upon a time. Do you know what I mean? So they had a good balance, but they were all singing up for the same. Remember, Dale was fighting for the right cause. Then Fergie knew, this is the core I want to build my team around. These six bunch of youngsters, do you know what I mean? Even proved that he could win the league with them. And no one's saying before our time as well, but just reading up and watching on TV and you see him say you can't win the league with youngsters. He proved that he could do that because he did it with a team of youngsters and he had the experience that matched with it. Do you know what I mean? Then fast forwarding on to the treble winning team in 99. Now they've got superstars in. Now they've got Roy Keane, they've got Sheringham, York, Cole, Solskjaer,
Schmeichel. Big up Schmeichel.
Yeah, they've got all heap of man now. Do you know
Well,
what
it was
I mean?
a perfect blend, I think.
Yeah, it was.
He had his youngsters.
It was. And
He had his youngsters and he had his superstars as well. And he blended them together.
everything just worked. Everything, it just ticked boxes. Everyone knew. Everyone fighting for the cause. Even in that semi-final when they played Juve. No, in the
Champions League.
Yeah, when they played Juve and Keane and Scholes both got booked, so they knew they were missing a final. They still put in that shift for the team to get to the final. Keane scoring that header. So I mean, captain's performance, still putting in that shit for the team to then actually go on. Then they had that confidence to then come from a goal down and score two in injury time. Do you know what I mean? Not many teams nowadays are gonna have that fight and that. Yeah, that just that
mentality.
that never said that attitude in them. Do you know what I mean? And that all came from the manager just believing that you're gonna get opportunity, and when it comes, bro, you have to go and take it.
One thing that comes on with United, they're serial winners. Recently they're not, but bro, they're serial winners and they're built on youth. That's what United are. They're youth and they're serial winners. Realistically, if United go 2-3 years without winning the league, bro, it's unheard of. You're thinking what Ferguson flipped. He's like, what the F's going on here? When Chelsea and Arsenal came along and won the league for a couple of years in a row, and United will finish third, bro. Ferguson flipped, changed the whole thing.
Yeah.
One thing that I just want to say, before I talk about Arsenal and our time, one thing with United is what sometimes people forget these days. When we talk about the greats of United, how good they were, people forget that they were probably the biggest club on the planet. Still arguably the biggest club on the planet. Obviously, they're not the best. We know that. But back then, would you agree that they were the best team on the planet? Would you say they were?
100%.
Yeah, more than probably. So but to win the treble, you've got to be good. But I think it took a lot of getting to that point, because you got to think, so Alex came from Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He won the UEFA Cup with them and something else. You know, I think it was Scottish Cup or the Scottish League. I don't know. He won. Do you know what I mean? But even still, comparing what you won in Scotland, then to bring him in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then they went 6 years without winning the trophy.
To stick with him as well after that time.
He had to win the FA Cup because a lot of people were saying if they didn't win the FA Cup that season, he might have been curtains.
And United will be the club we're talking about now. I think Ferguson made United who they are now. They were a big club before.
100%.
He made them who they are now.
Yeah, then that's like no disrespect. Obviously, like history, no disrespect to Matt Busby and the Bobby Charlton era and the Busby Babes, and no disrespect to anybody of the era. But I just think for the football of how people view it today, Sir Alex Ferguson is the person you think of if you say.
Yeah, when you think Man United.
Yeah, you think 100%. Similar to when you think Arsenal, you think Arsene Wenger.
Yeah, and one thing I think that was similar with Wenger is obviously when he came in, he was at Monaco, and then he went from Monaco to Grand Passat in the Japanese league, and obviously this was before my time anyway. But when he came into Arsenal, the first thing that got said, printed all over the papers, Arsene who. Nobody knew who he was, and expectations weren't really high. Big specs, different guy. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody expected anything, and he came in. He won the league in the late 90s. He won it in 2001, 2002, and obviously most notably the Invincibles 2003, 2004, which was an incredible feat. I think again. Another thing similar to Fergie was he was good with the youth, and he's always been good with the youth. Obviously, in more recent times, you look at your Ramses, you got your Fabregases, Van Persies, Walcotts. Before that, the most notable one was Thierry Henry. Obviously, this skinny little nobody winger who became for me the greatest striker in the Premier League that we've ever seen. But. So we know how good Arsenal were. Obviously, United were very dominant in the 90s. I think Arsenal took over in the early 2000s. Then that shifted a bit to United again. It was brief, but we took over.
Very brief.
Despite that, my point is, both clubs were dominant in England.
Of course,
both clubs know it was. If you go into every season, United are looking at Arsenal looking at United.
They were the ones to play. They were the ones to play.
There was no Chelsea, there was no Liverpool.
City.
It was United, Arsenal every single season because they both managers knew respected each other and they knew that each squad
there was the
very
respect,
strong.
but there was the rivalry as well and the hate between
Yeah.
you see some of them fiery moments when we play.
Yeah, I think it was a lot. I think
it's the Liverpool City of today.
Yeah, it was.
It's the Liverpool City of today.
It was
more than that, but it is compared to our younger viewers.
It's a comparison. But
I think like the respect. I feel like there's always a respect, but I feel like there was more of a friendship. I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but there was more of a friendship when
they needed each other.
Yeah, they did.
I think they needed each other.
They did. But there was more of a friendship thing when Sir Alex knew he had Arsene Wenger. You get me? When there was that dominance, and he knew when he knew Arsene wasn't a threat no more. It was. You know what? It's cool. Yeah, you're a cool guy. Do you know what I mean? But whilst
it's true.
But whilst that rivalry was going on, whilst they were invincibles, whilst they were putting up performances, beating teams, winning trophies and whatnot, you're not going to be cool with that. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think we'll ever see another rivalry like that again. Just for how the fire in it, the
I think
because it's a football game.
Football's changed, but when they went into every game, it was the fight. But obviously, we've spoken about how great United are. We've spoken about how great Arsenal. We know that's obvious anyway. So my question to you guys, as United fans, where did it go wrong?
Right, let me take this one.
Go for it.
Where did it go wrong?
I think we went wrong. One thing both managers are great at knowing when to switch it up. Hence why they never got sacked and they never was under spotlight. They knew when to switch up perfectly. You look at United when Ferguson left, he had Butner in the team, he had Cleverley, he had all these, and he won the league. You're thinking, you know what, Moyes inherited a good squad. All of a sudden, Moyes taken over the same squad, added Fellaini. I don't think he added anyone else that summer.
Fellaini and Mark came in January.
Mark came in January, but he added Fellaini that summer. And all of a sudden, the team doesn't look the same. So I think where they were wrong was, one, not recruiting the players for Moyes, and two, Moyes was not ready for the job. I think they listened too much to Ferguson and they should have looked around a little bit more. There was Klopp available at the time, Mourinho was available at the time. Maybe Mourinho came later on, but looking around, maybe not listen to Ferguson solely. Yeah, he has a lot of respect and he's very knowledgeable, but maybe look at what was better for the club rather than listen to Ferguson alone.
Now, for me, I agree to it a point, but I think where it went wrong, got a little higher up than that. For me, where it went wrong was when David Gill left the club. David Gill was the chief exec of Man U, him and Fergie. Yeah, them man was brethren. Them man smoked ganja, drink together. Them man was best friends together.
Whiskey boys.
Yeah, whiskey man.
Strip
so
club,
when
everything.
when David Gill left, look at what you've inherited after that. Now we've got in Ed Woodward. Now Ed Woodward, from a commercial point of view, from a commercial point of view, he's probably the best man on the planet at his job. Bringing sponsorships, even Man U in the current climate, what they're in, Europa Leagues, and he's still smashing out hammer deals with Adidas, Chevrolet, Chivas who do the whiskey and all of that stuff there. I think he's probably the best at his job. But when it comes to from a footballing perspective, he wasn't the guy. Hence why we were paying over the odds for players, for example. Like for Lady, I've got a soft spot for him, but was he right at the time? Probably not. And then also looking at certain signings he made after that, Di Maria. Memphis, I think it was just the right player, wrong time for me with Memphis.
I think we didn't give him the right nurturing, bro. He's still a young player coming from the Eredivisie.
Yeah, but for him, Falcao, Schweinsteiger, Schneider, just getting a whole heap of players.
You know what I think United were doing?
Didn't fit.
What Ed Woodward did, I think he was selling shirts and not saying, listen, we need this for the team.
Yeah, and that's
what it was.
because he's a businessman from the commercial side of it. Compare that, don't get me wrong, United did make some bad signings under
Ferguson.
Yeah, like
Veron.
Bebe of Batan. Veron was a quality player, but do you know what I mean? I think that was where it all went wrong. Was the fact that David Gill left the club as well, and we didn't get somebody in who knew how to deal in the transfer market, and that was why United struggled for so long. And they didn't decide to get a director of football or a technical director in, or any of those fancy ass labels or what we use nowadays.
And even to now, they don't really have a director.
Yeah, they did it now, but now there's a lot more. Because they brought in people who knew the club, like you've got Ollie who's come back in, and you've got Mike Phelan who was Sir Alex's assistant. You've got Michael
people
Carrick
who know the club.
Yeah, Michael Carrick has been at the club since 06. Do you know what I mean? He's been at the club 14 years now. So now they're getting people back in the club who actually know what they're talking about. Now that the club can actually go back in the right direction. Hence now why we're seeing better results, better misfortune, and people actually happy when they watch United play now. As Manchester United fans, teams are now being fearful of Man U. Fair enough, they're not in a position which is great in the league, like 5th, 4th. No, that's not right. But you've got to set these foundations in. Do you know what I mean? You've got to walk before you can run.
Yeah,
I think when they messed up, they wasn't ready for the change.
No, they weren't ready for the change.
Hence why they're jumping at managers, they're jumping at players, and that's the downfall of United. I think if they planned it properly, United were winning champions already. Different to Arsenal. Arsenal haven't won stuff in a long time. So that was slightly different. But with United, they were champions already. They just jumped into every manager too quick. They didn't think and jumped into every player too quick. Some have worked. Mata worked quite well.
Yeah,
Herrera, I'd say Herrera was a positive as well. But I think for the majority
Martial was a good signing.
Martial, very good signing. But I think for the majority of things, they didn't trust the manager and they didn't trust players as well. It's more just like, we're linked to him, so let's just grab him.
Yeah. My question is to everyone at home, when do you guys think it went wrong? Do you think it went wrong from an upstairs position with David Gill, or do you feel like it was just managers? And for Manchester United, do you feel like it was when Sir Alex left? Do you feel like the squad was good enough because Sir Alex won the league with that team? Or do you feel like it was managers, which we're going to touch on in a minute, Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, and now Ole? And then we're going to just shift straight over to Arsenal. We're going to flip my question to you. When do you think, what was a downward spiral for
me,
Arsenal Football Club?
I think there's two big points that got Arsenal to where they are today in terms of in a negative way.
Yeah.
I think the first one was losing the Champions League final.
Yeah.
6.
Oh yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah.
I don't think it's the biggest contributing factor to where we are now. I'm not completely blaming it on that, but what I'm saying is I think things would have turned a different page if we would have won that game. I think it was a bit of an injustice how we lost it. Maybe I'm biased.
No, definitely biased. The keeper got sent off.
But the thing is, stuff like that. No, but the thing is, stuff like that happens in finals.
Yeah, no, this is the stuff that happens in finals. This is stuff that we've put up with. At the end of the day, I think if we would have won that game, Arsenal would have took a different turn.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, in terms of
players.
attracting players, and that was and will be for a very long time our best chance to win the Champions League.
Oh yeah,
we're not going to get there anytime soon.
Yeah.
So it's pretty disappointing that we didn't win that. But the other turning point for me that took us down the bad path was when we moved from hybrid to the Emirates.
100%. I was going to say that. If you didn't mention that, I was going to say that.
Wenger said it himself. That's when Arsenal lost their soul. At the end of the day, I understand a little bit where the board was coming from. At the end of the day, we're a big club, yeah. We're a good side. We were winning and stuff. We started to get a little bit downhill from there. But the point is, Arsenal had established themselves as a big club under Arsene Wenger. Regardless of what you want to say about us, we're a big club. And when you're a big club, you need that big stadium. Fair enough. However, completely wrong timing, because with the funds that we had, it wasn't the right time. So we've now gone into the Emirates. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we've got this nice new stadium. Whatever, cool. The price that we've had to pay for that, it was reflected in the players that left. Obviously, the team wasn't as good as it was back then with the Invincibles and stuff, but we still had good players. They all went. Nasri went.
But I
They're
think-
all world-class players,
and-
but
and-
sold.
and that came on the back of having still trying to pay off. This
Yeah, that's what it.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
that's what I'm saying, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Moving into the Emirates debted us, and
Oh,
we
sure.
and the fans felt that the most. And I think if you'd ask any Arsenal fan now, yeah, would you have wanted to move from Highbury to the Emirates? The answer would be no,
Oh.
because,
Yeah.
like I said, Van Persie went to United. We see Nasri left.
Fabregas
left.
Clichy,
Kolo
Torre.
Kolo Torre.
Jesus Christ.
List goes
Adebayor.
on, bro. List goes on and
the
on.
list goes on and on and on.
Wojciech Szczesny was actually reinventing himself.
Yeah,
at Juventus,
Szczesny's
man.
Bro, you
Well, to
replaced
be fair.
Buffon, man.
Yeah,
You replaced
literally,
one of the
but,
best keepers of our time.
Yeah,
They gotta replace Buffon.
I think now both clubs are kind of turning a little bit of a page.
Just got a quick question. For
I'm
you.
not. Go on.
Do you know who scored the first goal at the Emirates?
Yeah.
Who was it?
I think it was Aston Villa player.
Yeah, you're right. You're on the right line.
Aston Villa, Stilian Petrov.
Nah,
it wasn't
Do you know
Petrov.
who
It was.
Jump it in the comments.
You caught me off with that
Don't
one.
Google it. I swear to God, don't
Don't
Google
Google
it.
that one. Maybe I'm not a true Arsenal fan.
I'm at the end of the video.
Nah, wait, bro. Nah, I
No,
need
we'll
to
drop
Drop it at the end.
We'll drop it at the end of the
But,
video.
both clubs for me now are kind of turning a new page. We're not anywhere where we need to be, and neither are you guys. But I think even though we're not there yet, I think with Arsenal, yeah, we're not as poor as we used to be. I think under Arteta, things are starting to change. I think a lot of things went bad when the Kroenkes took over. Same situation with
Owners.
you, poor ownership. But what I like is that we've shipped out these Deadwood guys, these Ivan Gazidis, these man there. Yeah, Wenger, I think it was his time to leave. I don't like how he left, but it was his time. These false promise guys, yeah, Gazidis saying that we're going to be competing with Bayern. Are you mad? Bro, come on. So these guys have gone. We've got Arteta in. We've got Arteta in. We've got Edu in. We've got Raul in. Don Raul, Vikai, all these guys, Vinay, whatever his name is. All these guys in the board, yeah, the way the club's been handled is a lot better. So I see that as a turning point.
Let me ask you a question, yeah? What's your take on Arsenal fan TV? Because I think they ruined Arsenal and Arsene Wenger.
Nah, I disagree.
I think because, bro, we live in a time of social media, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Players see everything. You got Lacazette liking posts of Mr. DT, liking posts of.
Bro, I don't think it's that big a thing. I think
You don't
now-
think so?
I think it's
because
important for the fans to have a voice.
I think it's important for them to have a voice, but I think they ruined Wenger's tenure towards the end, and it was more like.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that because
Wenger out would have been trending even if Arsenal.
100%. And you got to
See
what man
I
have to
mean?
understand, yeah.
You think they stayed too long then, United? Do you think? Let me just. You think Ferguson and Wenger stayed too long because their reign was so tight on the club?
Ferguson, no, Wenger, yes.
Yeah, I think as well. Yeah,
But the club was so used to
Arsenal fans-
Ferguson,
yeah.
the way he runs stuff, the way he ran stuff. It was so used to him dictating everything that the club, once he left, they were like, "What the hell do we? What do we do?"
You got a good.
You
good
see what I
point.
mean
You got
there?
a good point.
I think with Ferguson, it was just poor planning.
Yeah, I think with
He was
Ferguson,
gonna take
if
over and
Ferguson,
stuff.
if he had a blueprint and goes, "Listen, this is where you go," I think he chucked Moyes in the deep end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
good.
think
that's what- I think that's what he did.
Moyes was not ready for
That's
that.
what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Moyes was not ready for
But
that.
I think going back to the AFTV thing and all of that shit. I think, bro, Arsenal's the most expensive team in the world to watch. Big man, if I'm not happy,
You're gonna voice your opinion.
damn right,
You're
I'm
gonna
telling
voice
you,
your
I'm not
opinion.
happy. I'm not paying that stupid money. What is it? Over $1,000 for a season ticket. Big man, I'm beefing everyone.
No, what
I'm beefing the board. I'm beefing the tea lady. I'm beefing the stewards.
Yeah, but
I'm
this is the
beefing.
thing. I get what you're saying.
Now what I'm
bro.
saying is,
I get what you're
now
saying
what I'm
about-
saying is
go on.
like, bro, we go back 10 years ago, yeah?
Yeah.
Roy Keane, Patrick Gary didn't give a F about social media. Do you
No,
get me? They were
social
different
media
players.
wasn't a thing.
No,
Social
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Social
saying.
media's got bigger. This is the thing, yeah. At the end of the day, I think sometimes, yeah, these guys can go pretty brutal on players. And I know Hector Bellerin was a big advocate for speaking out against it, yeah. He wasn't a fan of it, blah, 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 because he sees it, it puts the players down, X, Y, Z. My point is, yeah, these fans are forking out thousands and thousands and thousands a year
Leave them
to go
trouble.
see this. You look at the Europa League final, yeah, the performance that was put in. What?
That was shocking, bro.
3-week flight to Azerbaijan, bro.
You know what I mean?
You get me? They're going there, paying all this money,
That's
yeah.
a pilgrimage.
Traveling through the desert on a camel, bro.
That's a pilgrimage.
Traveling through the desert on a camel, yeah, to get to this and see that.
Why was the final even in
Why is
Azerbaijan,
that?
by the way?
I don't know. That's
That's a different topic. That was
That's
but
money,
no,
money,
I think that, but yeah. So all right, I got a question for you lot now. Yeah, obviously spoken about the greats, the highs, the lows, whatever. are United on a turning point now? What's changed? What's
Yeah,
improved?
I'll let you go first.
As United fans,
Take
how
your
do you
take
guys
on it.
feel about the future, and what do you guys think it will
Positive.
take to get back
Positive.
to where you should be?
I think Man U are in a real positive position moving forward because we've gone through a lot of pop look managers. Do you know what I mean? Of we'll get Moyes in because he done well at Everton. It didn't work out. Yeah, let's bring in Van Gaal. I was a massive fan of Van Gaal. I just think his football is just a little bit boring at times. But he gave a whole heap of youngsters a chance. Tyler Blackett had him.
Rashford?
Rashford. A lot of them we don't even really know, and a lot of them don't play in the Premier League and whatnot. We still gave a lot of people a chance, and that was a Man United way. We wanted to see kids have a chance to play football.
That's what
Do you know
Ferguson
I mean?
did, bro.
And then obviously you had Jose. Jose was just that instant success. He was just, you know what, let's just paper over the cracks a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Now we've got Oli in who knows the club. He's now created an identity of how he wants Man U to play because Man United haven't been so ball dominant. They've never been as ball dominant. Do you know what I mean? And now I think Bruno in now they've got a clear identity of what they want and who they want. They identify needed a centre half. People are going to have their opinions on Maguire and the price tag and is he good enough? Bro, he's good enough for now. He will do the job. Do you know what I mean? He's going to do the job. Keeping Pogba on side, great. Giving De Gea the contract at the time was a very good idea because they needed to. Fair enough, he's had his ups and his downs, but I think he's still young enough. He will peak again. He's not going to peak to that level, but he'll peak again. He's what,
Got
29?
plenty of time,
That's what I'm
man.
saying. He's 29.
Got time
He'll
on his
peak
side.
again. And yeah, signing Bruno, having an idea, signing Wan-Bissaka, signing in key areas now, not just signing guys for the sake of saying, yeah, let's sign him because of boost-up shirts. Yeah, let's sign him because he was great on Football Manager 3 years ago. Now they've got an identity. Now they've got an identity on where they want, what they want to sign, where they want to go in a direction. Everyone's pulling in that direction. I've got a good young team and they're blending in the youngsters like what we spoke about Sir Alex doing.
99s.
Now they're pushing up Greenwood. Rashford's getting more responsibility. Brandon Williams, Wan-Bissaka, yeah, they bought him, but he's still young. They're playing him a little bit more. Scott McTominay can learn a lot off of Matic. She can learn a lot off of Pogba. Can learn a lot off of Fred. And Bruno, everyone in there is international. Jesse Lingard's an international. Andres come through the academy. They can learn, do you know what I mean? So all these players here that can learn from one another and they're all pulling in the right direction now. Anthony Martial's smiling now. You get me?
You don't see that.
You did not see that, and that is now like it's a sign of where the direction Man U are actually going in as a team now. Do you know what I mean? Because under Mourinho, he didn't smile. He got his shirt number robbed off him. I think that was a massive turning point for him when Zlatan came in and his number 9 just got robbed of him.
And he got caught, bro. He got called as well.
Yeah, because he had a new brand, the AM9 as well. Then all of us is wearing 11, and then that set him up. But now he's back smiling. 20 goals a season, him and Rashford. That's not happened since Berbatov and Hernandez in 2010, 2011, whenever it was.
All right, let me.
I'll
narrow
keep
down
it
a bit.
simple.
Let me
keep it simple.
Let me just ask one to both of you. Yeah, it's related. Okay, I'll ask this one to you, Hamza. You're now put in charge of Manchester United football.
Fucking hell.
You're the top guy. Not in good hands, by the way. But
Best hands.
theoretically, you're put at the top right, and you're told by your peers or whatever, your associates, you need to get Manchester United back to the glory days. How are you going to do that?
The most important thing for United is play the United way. Every club has their own identity. Just play the United way, and that's what Ollie's done, exactly that. So I would say to Ollie, well, listen, whoever you want to, because I trust him now.
Well, you're the manager. Fuck what you're telling us.
No, he wasn't in charge.
No, he's in charge. He's bigger than the man. Yeah,
okay.
I'll say to the manager, well, listen, tell me who you want within reason. You want Fernandes, alright? Why? Why do you want Fernandes? You want Maguire? Why? Again, we can't focus on Maguire's price because that's the price these days.
Yeah.
That is the price these days.
Man U needed a centre half. They had to pay all.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't say Van Dijk's an amazing player, but would I say Van Dijk's worth 75 mil? In this day, yes. But like a few years ago, you won't pay 75 million. Going back again, I'd say, listen, who do you want? Because again, I'm the manager of football. Yeah, I know about football. I'm passionate about United. I'd say, listen, who do you want? Justify it to me. Tell me why. What do we need? Are the results going positively? Yes. Then yeah, I'd trust in my manager. All he's playing the right way. He's playing the right way. He's doing the United thing, bringing in youngsters, blending it in with the stars. Going back to 99. I'd say, you know what?
So your message to the board essentially is give Ollie whatever the fuck he wants.
No, whatever the fuck he wants. No, give him whatever the fuck he wants within reason.
Within reason.
Within reason.
I just throwing that question to you guys as well. What would you guys do? Do you think Man U are put in the right direction? What do you guys think needs to be done for Man U to pull into the right direction? And again, we're just gonna throw that question straight over.
Straight back to
You're the only asked one. Yeah, I'll try to come at it from impartial. As I say, I'm a Man U fan. I'm wearing the Man
The most passionate United fan of the.
So who knows? You know what I mean? So who knows? So
I think for us, it's been a slightly different process to you. Obviously, Wenger leaving is still fairly fresh. I think, obviously, he left. the appointment of Unai Emery was one I was pretty sceptical about. I know at the time a lot of the fans were wanting Allegri and these, see them man there, but Emery came in. I don't necessarily think he's a bad manager. I don't think he's a great manager. I think
he's a great manager.
He said I wouldn't say he's a great manager. I'd say he's a decent manager.
The reason why I say
he's all right
because he's won 3 Europa Leagues in a row. That's not.
That was a good feat with Sevilla. But then what it was for me, with all due respect to Sevilla, they're not as big a club as Arsenal.
No, they're not.
And you put Emery in the PSG seat, and he was labelled a flop. Okay, he did good with them domestically. But
every PSG manager
is going to do that. He did poor in Europe, He let Neymar run the club, and at the end of the day, he got rushed out of there and he was labelled a flop. The fans hated him. He come to Arsenal, right? And I was a little bit sceptical about how he deal with the Ozils and again the big players like that. Yeah, would he?
Arteta's dealing with Ozil exactly the same.
Arteta's doing the same. No, I thought Emery did an alright job at that. I just don't think Emery was necessarily what we needed. I think he was used as a scapegoat.
100%.
But I think at the same time,
that's what they bought it.
How I looked at it, is when the players played under Emery, sometimes you looked at them, the formation was everywhere. They weren't organised.
Yeah.
It was going all over.
Too much chopping and changing.
Now I looked at it, it's like Gary Neville said it, these players are just uncoachable. Yeah, so it's not Emery's fault. Arteta's now come in, obviously, after Lundberg being caretaker manager. Arteta's come in, and now these players are suddenly not uncoachable. He's got them playing better. Arteta hasn't clicked yet with Arsenal, but he's getting there.
Similar to Oli. Oli didn't click straight away.
Yeah, but obviously Oli's had more time. Arteta.
No, what I'm saying is, but
Oli took time.
Yeah, Arteta got good results. Oli got good results.
Yeah.
But once that novelty of a new manager wears off, that's when you need to start clicking into position.
Yeah, I was talking about my caretaker. Because when he was in the caretaker, he was incredible.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, that new manager feel though. When you see that new manager, you get that new feeling.
It's like that's what it is. It's like getting a new gal and you're loving. Yeah, you get that first smoke.
Once the honeymoon period's over, that's when you know.
That's when it's real. That's when you can decide it. So the way I look at it is when Arteta come in, I think that was a good appointment. As I said before, I think Gazidis leaving, the board, bringing in Edu, Don Raul, big up, all these guys here.
Big up so many times,
bro. They come on, get to know you. But I think the whole changeover at the club scene, the way that they're operating is a lot better. I was a little bit sceptical about Arteta coming in. Obviously, first job, very big job, very hard job because we're not good. So it's a hard job to get Arsenal back up. But from me personally, from seeing his first interview talking about how he's going to go about things, I kind of knew that he's got something about him. I think he's the right pair of hands for the club to be in. I've got faith in him. I think all that needs to happen now is the club needs to ship out the players who need to go. Don't know why David got a new contract.
Who needs to go? Question for you guys again.
Who needs to go?
Who needs to leave Arsenal football?
We ain't got half an hour, man.
I'll go through it quickly. Who needs to go? David Luiz needs to go.
Yeah. Okay.
Socrates potentially needs to go. I don't think he's a bad player. I don't think he's an Arteta player. There's a little bit of an if with Bellerin. Should he stay? Should he go? Right now, I think he's probably our worst choice at fullback.
Yes, he is.
So maybe he should go. Lacazette's another one. Decent player, but is he ready? I think some players could do with loan moves here and there, but I could go on for ages. I think he needs to get rid of the players that aren't good enough to play for us, and I think the board needs to back him financially because that's very different to Manchester United. One thing that we've seen with Arsenal is we don't necessarily get the money that we always need. You guys have got a little bit more.
But again, that goes back to Ed Woodward. That goes back to running the club. Ed Woodward has done that off his own back.
You get me?
Let me get the Chevrolet deal. Let me get the Adidas deal. You lot could have negotiated for a similar Adidas deal. You're not as big as us, but you're on that level. You're all global.
Again,
that goes back to the club. I think
that took time, but obviously, I think the board's starting to do that a little bit now. Obviously, went out for Pepe, record-breaking signing, but then at the same time. Financially,
very good,
then
bro.
At the same time, I look at that payment. And I'm like, that's over 4 years. So are we really turning a new leaf? But I think if the board backs Arteta financially, I think he can.
I think let's just wrap it up a little bit. I think we both.
I have a question for you both.
Go on then.
I just want to know what would you say was Arsenal and Man U's dominant period. I would say for Man U's dominant period for me was between 2007 and 2011. In 07 or 08 when they won the Champions League.
The treble winning Premier League in a row, 3 years in a row.
Yeah, 08 or 09. Champions League final against
Barca,
which we lost at Wembley. 9 or 10 they weren't in it, but did they win the league that year? Did Chelsea win it?
9-10.
Yeah.
Chelsea won, but we were still competing.
Yeah, and then 10-11 when we won the league. Yeah, won the league
Yeah.
against Blackburn, and then was in the Champions League final again, and it was just constant domination. They lost again to Barcelona. I think a lot of Man U didn't really get the credit over that period
because of
Pep and that Barca team. They just dominated it over.
They were
the best
team.
They're the best club team that's ever.
Barca wasn't there though. United were dominating.
United could have had 3 Champions Leagues in 4 years. Now, obviously, it's a could have, but bro, over that period there. You know, there was no better team on the planet. Man U lost 2 Champions League finals, just the best team on the planet at that time, and there's no arguing. There's no arguing.
Arsenal's was probably
could not have done anything more than that.
02. I'd say 01, 02 to 04. 05, I say 05, 06.
Yeah,
before they moved to Emirates, I think.
Yeah, everything before.
I think that's the period where we were dominant. I think obviously before and around that we were good. We were in the mix. We weren't necessarily better than United, but we were up there.
Yeah.
There was room for debate with it, but. Yeah, I think what you said, that's probably the best. And I think obviously after that, up until Wenger kind of left, it wasn't necessarily about winning as much as I said when I said Fergie was a serial winner. It was just about survival. Given the teams that he had, bro, getting consistent Champions League football. That was a man like Shamak in the team, bro.
Shamak.
It's ridiculous, fam. There's not a lot of other managers that could do that.
No,
I don't think no one else could do that.
Looking back at that, he deserves so much respect.
Yeah, he deserves it. And I think the fans are kind of realising that now, because before, obviously, as an Arsenal fan, we've got these dead players. No. But you look back at it now,
Sanogo.
How are we getting
this with he made it work.
This team?
He made similar to Ferguson, like bro.
He worked with what he had.
You look like Cleverley now. You're like, how the hell does Cleverley get into United squad?
It's hard work. Bro, it's the same way how did Darren Fletcher get into hard work. Darren Fletcher wasn't world class. John O'Shea weren't world class.
Darren Fletcher was good at what he did.
Yeah, there were, but I think just before we wrap up, I think Sir Alex going was the downfall of a lot of those players because Danny Welbeck was very good for Manchester United. He was very good he was effective in his job role. Danny Welbeck was.
He was the first Rashford, didn't he? He was the first coming.
How was he not, bro? He was getting into England teams. He went to England.
Bro, did you see that goal he got on his debut?
Listen, but after a while.
Ferguson leaving was just a killer for a lot of them. A killer for Raphael. How good was Raphael at fullback, by the way?
Yeah, I'd still take Raphael back, to be honest.
So would I, and that's just the thing of him going. It just upset the camp because I let them know, the loyalty is gone because this next guy who comes in, he doesn't really want me.
Because one thing Ferguson does was watch the youth from a young age, so he's seen them grow, seen them develop, and he knew every single one.
And he had his guys
similar to Wenger.
And he had his guys in the youth academies as well, like Paul McGuinness and Warren Joyce. So when they left as well, that's another part of the downfall to Man U. Having these guys who was trusted in the academies, these guys left and went to go and do their own thing, which is fair enough. Obviously, I just added to the downfall of the club because you're losing guys who know more about the club. Don't these guys you're gonna bring in? So I'm gonna ask you guys just one question before we go.
Bro, you giving me an essay, man.
Yo, it's interactive, innit? Who are you guys' 5 worst signings what from Manchester United and Arsenal? 5 worst.
I got a quick question for you lot before we wrap this up. Okay. Out of the current Arsenal squad, which players would you take?
At United,
Aubameyang.
I take 3.
I
take 4. I take 4.
Which 4 would you take?
4. I take Aubameyang just because it hurt you a lot. It's just it would hurt you.
Okay. Feel nice.
Saka, quality young player. Martinelli.
Again,
because probably and Kieran Tierney because I really dislike Luke Shaw.
Ridiculous.
I dislike Luke Shaw as a left.
But then again, Williams, that's disrupting. But then again,
but I don't think Williams is ready. But
Fair play.
But I think that's it. Let us know what you guys think.
I'd say one thing is both clubs need to do is stick by their manager right now. Arteta for the future, or for the future. They could technically replicate. I think possibly they could replicate the Wenger, Ferguson. Maybe not for as long. And maybe not as intense with City and Liverpool around, but they can maybe reignite that flame. I think so. I think so.
But it's nice to see club legends do.
And it all starts with if either of these 2 teams can win the FA Cup this season. I think
100%.
Not
That'd be
confident,
good
but we'll see.
Let's see.
But yeah,
Anyway,
Aston
guys.
three at the back, Arsenal United, the
Brilliant,
rise and the fall. It's close to home.
Remember all his questions. Remember all his questions.
Oh,
Yeah?
by the way,
Remember
by the way.
Go on.
If you didn't know, it was Olaf Melberg who scored the first goal at Emirates.
Oh, there we go. He's dropped
No,
it.
look,
Big Melberg with the beard.
Yes, it was. By the way. So yeah.
Anyway, guys, yeah.
Share it, like it, subscribe it,
Like,
all of that
comment,
shite.
subscribe. Thanks for watching. Yeah, bless up. Catch you on the next video.
Boom.